Okay, we're actually going to bring in the MSU Northern logo, so let's just scrub through somewhere where we think we can bring that in. I don't know if it really matters too much where you scrub to, but do the plus sign, your media, and it should be a white one. It's a PNG file. It should be in that zip file that you downloaded from Brightspace, so go ahead and add that. It's going to come in big, so let's go into the transitions slide and let's just maintain the proportions, make sure that's checked. But this is the scale area. We can actually just bring it down, and if we actually play our video, oh, we can actually move. Let's move it up here too. Oops. Screwed that up. So if we grab this, let's make it a little bigger. Well, actually, I have to adjust the size of that clip and then move it up, and I might actually crop it down a little bit too. So if we go here, can see, so we're going to have to move it, the vertical, I'm on the wrong clip here, so let's select the logo and let's move the vertical position and maybe the horizontal position, so it's sort of out of the way. It's still kind of too big, so I'm going to actually bring down the width a little bit more and bring down the vertical position just a little bit more. Okay, great. So we have that kind of laid out here. Let's close up this transform, this graphics panel here. There we go. So let me move this over. So you can see our timeline, you know, the video here, and all of the things that we brought in. So we have some B-roll, we have a title, we have this graphic, or it's a logo, it's actually a PNG file. Next, we're going to bring in some music. So you can actually go here, you can go to audio. You can also do voiceover here. So if you want to experiment, if you go to the audio, you can just find stuff that's free. There's also sound effects, there's soundtracks, there's loops. So it's kind of up to you. If you want to use some of this pre-made stuff, that's totally fine. But I'm going to show you how you might go online. You can actually get audio clips off of YouTube. So it's called Anything to mp3.cc, and I will provide a link for this, but just look at that URL and enter that in. It's anything to mp3.cc. And let's go open up another tab and go to YouTube. And this is where we can search for our favorite artist that we want to use. Like maybe I want to use, you know, I like Nick Lowe, so I'm going to, you know, download one of his songs. So we can actually just take the URL here. I'm going to pause that. And we can take the URL of this video just right out of the top of the browser here when we're on the video that we want to do, and just Command V. Output audio format should be on MP3. The bit rate is obviously probably has to do with the quality. You probably don't want to go too big because then it's going to get kind of bogged down your computer. So I think 128K has worked really well for me in the past. So download file from URL. Go ahead and push that. It takes a little bit, so I'm going to pause it. Okay, and this is what it starts to look like once it's downloaded. Kind of looks like this. And let's do convert file. So push this button. You might have to push it twice. And then it'll give you kind of a progress bar. And then it ends up looking like this: complete download here, and it'll have a little link, so we just click on that and it goes right into your downloads folder. If I open up my downloads folder, I can double click on it. It is an MP4 file, and it'll open up and it'll play in iMusic or whatever this is by default. So that's how you would get audio from YouTube, basically. That is actually pirating, so definitely don't, like, if you do use pirated music, I think it might be okay for like student work to do that because it's not for profit or anything, but definitely be aware of that before you like put it all over the internet, because you could run into some copyright issues. Okay, let's go back into Adobe Rush and let's go to import your media, and I'm actually going to back out of here and I'm going to go to my downloads folder. Right here, and that MP3 file should be in here, and I have so many things in my downloads folder that I'm going to have to move it to my desktop folder that I had selected, my Adobe Rush demo files. So when you're in your computer, if you need to, just throw it in that zip file that you unzipped and throw the MP3 file in there so that you can find it, because it can be hard to navigate to files in Adobe Rush. So as you can see, I put my audio file, my music, into my Adobe Rush demo file on my desktop. So now it'll be easier to find in Adobe Rush. So I'm going to open up Adobe Rush again. I'm going to go to Niccolo and then add that. And then we can, click and move this around a little bit. Say I want it to go through the whole video. I can, shorten it, because this is way longer than my actual primary footage is. So I'm going to clip it down to size. That means the end of it's going to get cut off, but we could always maybe do an audio fade. So if you go here to the audio section, you can do a clip volume per clip. Let's see. So you can actually adjust the clip volume depending on where you're at. So, be aware of that. There's also a color grading that we can do to our clips. So I want you to go ahead and bring in the audio file, trim it down, and then also go to some of the primary footage, at least one of them, and go into color grading. That's the speed. Let's see, where's the color grade? Right here. So it's about the third one, fourth one down on the right here. And you can just change it to, like, maybe we want it to be more cyan. You can change it to whatever you want. Just something that's kind of obvious that you've actually changed the color grading on it. If you go into edit, you can create like a custom one as well. And this will show you what it's like off. This will show you like what it's like on. You can actually create a preset if you want to. Like if you have a certain look that you want to replicate without having to make it from scratch again, you can create a preset right here. You can experiment with some of these sliders, but you can do vignettes. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So definitely do that. You can also do an apply to all, which is kind of nice. We can close up the color panel, and that actually created some color grading, so you can really see what's going on. So yeah, I think that's basically all I wanted to show you. Those are just the basics of Adobe Rush. Obviously, your project's probably going to be a little bit more advanced. Obviously, there's going to be rhyme or reason to everything that you're doing in here. You might have multiple audio clips that you're working with. You might do a voiceover. You might have sound effects mixed with music. So you can export out of here. For grade, I'm wanting an MP4 file. So let's just do share. This will, you can rename it Mary Adobe Rush Demo. This won't have any spaces in it because it's a file name. And this is going to go into my documents folder, which I don't really want it to go in there. I'm going to change it to my desktop, my Adobe Rush demo file, save it there or choose it there. There are advanced settings, but just leave it on automatic because they tend to work pretty well. And go ahead and just push export. That should work really well for you. It takes a little bit to render, but definitely turn in that MP4 file in Brightspace to me for a grade. I'm really not feeling well. My son got me sick again. I'm starting to get a sore throat and I'm really cold. I have the chills. And I think it's just going to keep getting worse because I was fine this morning and now I'm feeling pretty sick. So I guess you kind of get a little bit of an early spring break. Just try to get this done and into me by Friday. So you're going to have to be in the lab anyway to try and get this demo done. It shouldn't take you too long. And yeah, just get that turned in by Friday, March 11th, before 11:30 p.m. Some of you might have this at home. If you want to do the 7-day free trial at home and get it done at home, that will also work. Talk to you later.